Hey guys, what's up and welcome to a new NVIDIA daily update video. So today, as per usual, let's go over NVIDIA. Let's talk about what is happening to NVIDIA. Is NVIDIA ready to pull back? Is it bearish? Is it bullish still? What's going on? Where can we go next? And what's next essentially in general for the bigger picture. So I'll give you my thoughts. If you enjoyed, don't forget to hit that like button. This is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. And of course, if you enjoy my technical analysis, thoughts on the charts, etc. Well, again, guys, I do share my thoughts with my members every single day. Would love to have you there. Definitely check it out. If you're interested, the link is in the description of every single video down below. All you have to do is click it and you get taken to this page where you can subscribe if you wish for just $3 a month USD. It's all it is, guys. All my Tesla updates, options for technical analysis, different time frames as the markets open, 9:30 to 5:04. Including broader market updates as well. So definitely check it out. $5 a month adds NVIDIA to that if you want my NVIDIA updates, of course. And then, of course, $7 adds everything else. Private access to our Discord. We have a chat room there. We have chart requests I do with members every single Sunday. And of course, I post tier 3 posts essentially where I'm constantly sharing non-Tesla, non-NVIDIA stocks in the market that are setting up nicely or have a, potential, if you will. So we'd love to have you there, guys. Definitely check it out. But yeah, jumping into it, NVIDIA closing the day with a humble 0.8% on the day, holding up, decently well, the market up 0.4%. So NVIDIA roughly following the cues for the most part. But all in all, is this weakness, right? Is this stock ready to reverse back lower, to like 183, 184, or are we still good? Are we just going to go up from here straight up? No pullback at all. Let's just go straight up, right? Let's talk about it. So going to the 1 hour time frame, we are losing this trend line. We are starting to show a little bit of weakness here, in my opinion, right? So let's see how tomorrow goes. But, there is some weakness starting to show up here, in my opinion. So, but again, this is short term. I just want to make that very, very clear. Let's start on the daily, actually. I just want to make it clear. NVIDIA's bullish. You can't look at this chart and not be bullish. Now, there is a chance this becomes a very substantial bull trap. Of course, there's always that chance. But, I don't want to try to predict something that's just not happening, if that makes sense. We can predict it, and, this could be a massive bull trap. But again, as long as NVIDIA is holding key levels, which so far it's, well above them, right? 183 to 184, as long as that holds, massive area of resistance. As long as we continue turning that into supports, I see no problems here. And especially as long as we're above this low right here at about 181 roughly, it's bullish. You'd be a fool to look at this chart and think it's bearish. Now, there is that Wyckoff distribution potentially, but we just don't simply know it's going to be that for sure without some stronger confirmation, which in my opinion would be below 181. If we ever lose 181 and drop down below, that would be very concerning. Then this would start screaming to me, this whole thing is just a huge level of distribution happening up here. And the stock is most likely ready to, in the coming weeks, months, maybe head significantly lower, like to 150, that weekly 150. Remember that one? All the way down here. That's what that would tell me. Now, obviously, nothing is suggesting that at the very moment, right? But again, if we ever lose those key levels, if we ever lose 181, especially, in my opinion, it substantially increases those possibilities. But that's the bear case. The bull case, it's a pretty easy bull case in my opinion. Yeah, any pullbacks I still view as bullish. I view any pullbacks from here, especially now that we lost that 1 hour trend line, nothing to be worried about, right? I don't view it as anything to be concerned about, personally speaking. We have the 4 hour SMI now once again at the top of the range. You can see, especially when it's been, fairly choppy, at the top of the range, 4 hour SMI, cool, reversal. Top of the range, 4 hour SMI, cool, reversal. Top of the range, 4 hour SMI, cool, reversal. Top of the range, 4 hour SMI, reversal. Seems like it, right? Seems like it. I mean, so far so good, right? Let's see if this plays out the way it's played out all these other times, right? Even up here, same thing, right? Look at that, same thing. So, let's see how this goes, guys. Let's see how it goes, right? But I don't see this as anything bearish, at least not yet. I mean, it could be, but as of right now, no, I don't see it as anything to be concerned about or bearish about, because as of right now, I would view this pullback as nothing more than just a nice, stronger, cleaner retest, if you will, of the 183, 184 old support, now resistance, old resistance, now support zone, where the 9 EMA is also conveniently starting to peek its head into. So we have nice support coming into that region. So as long as this region holds right here, hey, I just expect NVIDIA to hold and most likely bounce. I don't see why it wouldn't. Potentially going to 200 later this year, probably towards the end of the year, something like that is what I would expect. But, that's one step at a time. So let's see how it goes. Let's see how the, potential pullback develops. If we get that pullback, let's see how it, what happens with it, if you will, moving forward, and all that good stuff. So that's kind of my simple analysis. Yeah, there's a chance that it starts occurring maybe tomorrow, maybe early next week. I don't know exactly when, but, losing this 1 hour trend line, not convincingly yet, I would argue, right? It's kind of, again, my trend line isn't drawn to absolute perfection, but it's pretty close. You can absolutely make an argument that it's giving you signs that it wants to go ahead and do that, something like this, right? Give or take something like that, and then head higher, right? That's kind of my guess. Maybe a nice little bull flag, right? That could be nice. But But again, I don't view it as anything to be concerned about, not yet at least. So let's continue monitoring this, guys. MACD is bullish as well. So, things are still looking pretty good for NVIDIA, right? Nothing to be overly concerned about. So let's see how this develops, guys. Going over to the options flow, let's see if anything interesting here is overall shaping up or showing up. It's gonna have to refresh, I think. Let me go ahead and refresh this page. It is lagging. I don't know why it's lagging, guys. It's not letting me work. It's not letting me show you what's happening. I don't know why. Let me try refreshing this entirely. Well, I guess we have no idea. Well, it is what it is. I mean, let's say we take a look at the most recent one I posted, which was up here. Let's take a look at this one. This was about 2 hours ago that I posted for my members. Yeah, it's just not loading. I don't know what's happening. It was more bullish and bearish, right? The bulls are definitely outnumbering the bears, as you can see here. This was around 2:30 p.m. You can see, right? And, looking pretty decent, right? Some 12.5 million call also came in, 190 strike for March. I have to double check, March 20th, 2026. So, someone is stepping in pretty nicely around here as well for NVIDIA. Then, yeah, I mean, the stock overall, yeah, it looks bullish, guys. I see no major concern. The worst case right now on the more bullish side is just something like this, right? That's kind of something like that is what I see right now. So let's see, guys. Obviously, it's either that or we break below that 181, and then that's a concern. One of these two paths. It'll go up or it'll go down. The classic. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Actually, let's go to the market. I didn't have a chance to talk about the broader market on the Tesla video because there's just obviously a lot to talk about today. Let's talk about SPY. Bullish, right? I mean, you can't look at this chart and not be bullish. Now, can things turn around? Can we finally drop? Are we getting closer to maybe a 5 to 10% correction? Yeah, I mean, absolutely, we could be, right? But, it's just nothing is suggesting that yet. This market's continuing to make higher highs, higher lows. Until the market stops making higher highs, higher lows, as you can see, higher highs, higher lows, higher high, higher low, equal low, but still, arguably a higher low, higher high. Lose the 9 EMA, lose the 21 EMA, lose this trend line, lose this slowdown here, 655. We're not doing any of that. Those need to start happening. Maybe lose the 9 EMA, okay, maybe small concern. Okay, lose the 21 EMA and this trend line, okay, that's a pretty big concern. Lose 655, that's a major concern. Then we may start having problems. Then we start predicting a lower low, and then we get probably a zigzag correction to the downside, 5 to 10%, right? That becomes a problem. But we're not doing that. Not yet, at least, right? Maybe we will. Maybe we'll do next week. Who knows? But until we actually see that happening, there's no reason to, I used to make the mistake of getting very bearish on stocks simply because they went up too much. Now, obviously, if it's like up way too much in a sense that it's just way too distant, like, you can make an argument SPY is a little bit distant here, right? You can see the 9 EMA is a little bit distant, 655, we're at 670. There is that argument to be made, that we're a little too extended. But until we actually meaningfully start breaking like key levels, guys, key levels, like important levels, the levels that have been holding this rally the whole time, until those start snapping, there's no reason to be bullish or bearish. There's no reason to be bearish, in my opinion. Not financial advice, of course. So let's continue monitoring this. I've been saying this for quite some time. I think even back since the Qs were like back around here, it's 575, I think it was. Just let the market do its thing. Eventually, it'll happen. It'll happen. We'll get the 5 to 10% correction. It's going to happen. It's just how the market goes. It's just how the cycles work. It's perfectly normal, etc., etc., etc. Perfectly normal stuff. But again, we're just not seeing signs yet, guys. We're not seeing signs. Anyways, that's all I got for you. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Peace.